You save me, you always save me. I guess the first time.
School of Rock is the world's most revolutionary music school with programs for ages 3 and up.
It took being in heart failure actually diagnosed me with severe pulmonary hypertension. They told me at that point that they didn't know how much longer I had left to live. They suspected that I had something called PVOD, which is pulmonary veno-occlusive disease. At that point, I couldn't even get from the bathroom to the couch. Like, I was so out of breath. To be completely honest, was more scared at that time of a transplant than I think I was of dying. So I was petrified, and I thought, how can I not do this? How can I allow for my body to heal? I was just getting progressively worse and worse and worse. I ended up in the ER. It's literally like you're drowning underwater and you can't catch your breath. I mean, I can't breathe. That's when I had a heart attack. They brought me back to life. And then when I woke up, I was connected to this machine called ECMO, which was life support. The goal was, can I separate from ECMO? Every time they tried to disconnect me from this machine, that same hyperventilation thing would happen. My heart would go crazy and I would almost lose consciousness. I was very connected to that machine. Thank God for that machine. It was the worst moment because it was so clear to me that I was never getting off this machine, and made the decision right there. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to have a lung transplant.
You say you always save me. I guess the first time and over again you save me. You always save me.
Will lungs come in, and what if they don't? And I was deteriorating so quickly every day. You don't know what to pray for, but you do. You're like, I pray that lungs come in, and you're like, you think you want someone to die for your lungs, and it's a sort of an inconceivable, like, human thing to want to preserve your own life. There's such an emotional thing when the lungs come in, and then when the lungs are put in, and then when you wake up with these lungs, and then when you live with these lungs. And it's not a feeling of guilt. It's such a feeling for me of gratitude and of wanting to kind of do justice to this person, you know? And like I say, it sort of feels like I'm living for two people. For 12 years, I couldn't breathe. So it was sort of like, welcome to life. You can eat food, you can walk up and down the stairs, you can breathe, you have energy, and it's sort of unbelievable to feel this way after 12 years of really being so limited. I was just so determined to heal these lungs and to get back to kind of being a person in the world. I always say, do what you can with what you have. It doesn't necessarily have to be the perfect thing, but it can just be something, and something can be a big thing when you're faced with feeling like you can't do anything. So little steps in the right direction. Now it's really retraining with these new lungs, so it's learning what this sensation is to actually breathe, which is amazing. So I'm back to writing. I'm writing like crazy. I have a new song that I just recently wrote that will hopefully be out in the next month.